Welcome to today's Explainer. We're diving into a really massive topic today, one that honestly sits at the absolute core of modern business operations. We're talking about enterprise infrastructure management, and more specifically, the major shift we're seeing toward a unified hybrid cloud. Now, I want you to picture enterprise IT like a giant, sprawling metropolis. Over the years, new neighborhoods, massive highways, and complex utility grids have all been built and just bolted onto each other, often without any real cohesive master plan. And the result? Complete gridlock. It's like fixing a pothole on 4th Street and somehow knocking out power to the entire west side of the city. But today, we're going to look at exactly how we can transform this notoriously chaotic infrastructure from a tedious, reactive, administrative chore into a strategic, master-planned business superpower.
Okay, let's dive into this roadmap. We've got 5 logical steps to untangle this modern hybrid cloud mess. 1. The infrastructure evolution. 2. The complexity crisis. 3. Moving from reactive to strategic. 4. Preparing for the AI era. And finally, number 5, the unified hybrid solution.
So, kicking things off with Section 1, the infrastructure evolution. Because to fix our chaotic IT cities, we first have to look back at how they were originally built.
The historical journey of IT is actually pretty fascinating. Back in Era 1, organizations ran dedicated physical servers and networking gear in these highly controlled centralized physical data centers. It was incredibly rigid. But hey, IT teams had total control since everything lived in one established place. Then, Era 2 VITs, virtualization. This was a total game changer. It allowed multiple workloads to run on shared physical hardware, which drastically slashed hardware needs. But it did introduce some brand new, specialized administrative layers. Fast forward to Era 3, cloud computing, which shook things up all over again. Suddenly, you could rapidly provision resources without ever touching a physical component. The idea spread like wildfire. But cloud adoption didn't just magically erase the old stuff. Thanks to legacy applications, strict regulatory rules, and data sensitivity, organizations held on to their on-premises systems. And that drops us right into today's reality, Era 4, the hybrid cloud, where legacy and modern systems just have to coexist in this fragmented model.
Which brings us to Section 2, the complexity crisis. Adding all these independent layers without a master plan has led to some massive operational traffic jams.
Let's rapidly fire through the 4 major roadblocks this sprawl creates, because we've all felt the pain here. First up, limited visibility. IT teams just do not have a clear, comprehensive view across their on-prem and cloud environments. Second is operational fragmentation. You've got different teams working entirely independently with totally inconsistent processes. Imagine a mission-critical app goes down. You have multiple disconnected teams scrambling to investigate different components just to find the root cause. It's a nightmare. Third, manual administration. Provisioning, configuring, and monitoring takes so much human effort. It slows everything down to a crawl and practically invites errors. And finally, scalability limitations. As the business grows, these traditional models require a crushing amount of administrative overhead that teams simply cannot sustain.
Now, what's really interesting here is the sheer risk involved. When vital operational information is distributed and siloed across dozens of different platforms, you lose the big picture. And this isn't just a minor headache for the IT department, it is absolutely terrifying from a business standpoint. Think about it. You literally cannot manage, troubleshoot, or plan for future capacity if you don't even know what resources exist, where they're operating, or how they're connected to each other. And that leads us to a brutal, fundamental truth. You cannot secure what you cannot see. All this fragmentation isn't just an annoyance. It is a massive cybersecurity vulnerability. As we roll out more distributed applications and rely on remote connectivity, these poorly controlled manual configurations create giant security gaps. Security absolutely has to be integrated right into the infrastructure lifecycle, not just slapped on as an afterthought. So, how do we fix it? That's Section 3, moving from reactive to strategic. The objective of enterprise infrastructure is no longer just keeping individual systems breathing.
There is a stark night and day contrast here. Traditional IT management is basically just fighting fires all day. It's fragmented, heavily manual, and entirely reactive. You're just trying to keep the lights on. But strategic infrastructure management, that changes the whole game. It's unified, heavily automated, and most importantly, proactive. We have to pivot from constantly putting out fires to proactively driving digital transformation and ensuring real business continuity.
The strategic goals here really boil down to 3 simple, non-negotiable mandates. See it, secure it, scale it. First, you establish unified visibility so you actually understand your entire footprint.
Second, you integrate security governance directly into your operational control. And third, you scale operations effectively through automation. That way, you're not completely crushing your IT team with administrative overhead every single time the business tries to grow.
Now, if you're wondering why this shift is so urgent right now, look no farther than Section 4, Preparing for the AI Era.
Artificial intelligence is putting entirely new, frankly extreme demands on enterprise infrastructure. To even be AI-ready, organizations need massive computing power, specialized processing, high-performance storage, and incredibly efficient networking. Here's the scary part. If you just bolt on another isolated environment, actually, let's call it what it is, another silo, just for AI workloads, your legacy infrastructure will literally break under the weight. AI workloads require organizations to thoroughly modernize their foundations so that workload placement is strategic, not just a shot in the dark.
Well, the answer to that is our final stop, Section 5, the Unified Hybrid Solution. Let's look at the Master Plan Metropolis approach.
This is the blueprint we need, a unified platform for hybrid cloud. It's a strategic, integrated foundation that gives you consistent visibility and operational control across on-premises, private, and public cloud environments. Now, to be crystal clear, this doesn't mean every single piece of hardware or software is identical. No way. It just means the management of all those pieces operates as one connected ecosystem. You keep the flexibility you absolutely need, but you finally eliminate those toxic operational silos.
And this brilliantly illustrates the old way, the incredibly painful legacy deployment process. Step 1, acquire the hardware. Step 2, configure the OS. Step 3, set up the network. Step 4, integrate the storage. Step 5, apply security. It is so cumbersome. And every single time you hand off from one step to the next, you drastically increase the chances of human error and configuration drift. It just kills your time to value.
So let's sweep away those painful steps. Enter the solution appliance approach. By giving you a single, standardized, pre-integrated foundation, deployment gets dramatically simpler. You're cutting out all that miserable effort of assembling distinct components from scratch. This drastically cuts down deployment time and ensures everything is actually operationally ready and secure right out of the gate.
And when you look at these platform capabilities, every single one translates into a massive strategic advantage. Unified management, that actively eliminates those silos we talked about. Hybrid enablement gives you the flexibility to run legacy and modern workloads exactly where they perform best. Improved control instantly hardens your security governance. And operational efficiency, driven by all that standardization, finally frees your IT team from endless reactive tasks so they can actually focus on strategic business growth.
So to wrap this all up, adopting this unified approach to enterprise infrastructure management is a total redesign. You are taking your infrastructure and transforming it from a fragmented roadblock into a highly adaptable, scalable foundation. It is the exact future-ready platform you need to handle whatever tomorrow's technology, whether that's advanced AI or the next big wave of digital services, throws your way.
I want to leave you with this one vital question to really chew on regarding your own tech stack. Is your current infrastructure holding you back in a web of complexity, or is it a unified platform actively pushing your business forward? Thank you so much for joining me for this explainer, and I really hope this roadmap helps you rethink the foundations of your digital enterprise.